Queensland, Australia. A little bit late today. I ran just a tiny bit late. So I'm going to just put on a quick intermission. Hello, welcome to my live stream, Palmistry Q&A. Hopefully we get some people joining today. I have posted it on Facebook, so hopefully people will click on those links. And hopefully we are streaming okay. I've got some background noise going on here, so hopefully that doesn't affect the stream. Hopefully you can hear me. I'll try and adjust my sound settings in case there's no sound. Welcome, and welcome to say hi. Don't be shy. Let me know where you're streaming, where you are viewing from. If you are viewing from a country outside Australia, how is the stream? Hopefully we have good internet today. Hopefully I have no glitches. I can bring up pictures for you to explain my lines. You can hear me loud and clear. Thank you, Sabroto. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It feels like we are a little bit glitchy. It feels like it's a bit slow, but that could be my computer. It could be my settings, and it could be the internet connection. Good morning, Ujwal. Good morning, everyone. Coming from Mumbai, India. What time is it in Mumbai, in India, right now? Is it? I presume it's early morning. It's late morning here in Australia. I got the name right. Okay, yay! Very good. Thanks for joining today. We will get more people as the stream rolls on. We will get more people. Usually towards the end of the stream, that's when more and more people tend to join. But because it's different time in Australia to the rest of the world, I tend to get more of the rest of the world than Australians. 6:35 a.m. All right, so that's not too early, I hope. I tend to do mine at this time because it gives me time to prepare and do my other jobs in the morning. And I will eventually change time slots now and then. Next week I will be away. There's Easter holidays here, so I will be going away for 4 nights, so that's going to be through the week. It's going to give me a little break. Early riser, yes, same. You can tell by my bags under my eyes. I wake up at 4. My first coffee's at 4 in the morning. Got to squeeze in the hours during the day. So I'm here to answer questions, hopefully satisfactory, and hopefully my mic is working. I'll just move it a little bit. It's flashing, seems to be flashing lights at me, so I hope it's working. So yeah, let me know, what would you like to talk about? I can bring up pictures of hands like that, and I can draw on those hands, and I've got a whiteboard to use as well. So anybody here have much experience in palmistry? How long have you been studying, and what got you interested in palmistry? I'm happy to learn about you as well. Let me know what got you into palmistry, and why are you studying palmistry? I suppose I started studying out of curiosity to see if you can predict anything from palmistry. I suppose that's why most people join. They want to know, is something predictable? And the more I learn about the hands, the more I learn that your hands are connected to your brain, like the most that your brain can put out reflects on the hand. Just moving my hands around, it just comes natural. Everything you think about can reflect on the palm. So if you're always thinking about the same thing, that can reflect on a particular line. The more you focus on one thing, the more it can bring a certain line. So it can show if you are very career-minded, it can show if you're artistic, it can show if you don't do anything at all. So things can reflect on your palms based on what you think. So Ujjwal has a loop along with a tented arch on the index finger. I can tell you about that. I have it on both of mine. I have a loop with a tented arch on both my index fingers. Subroto is an amateur palmist out of curiosity. Yes. Hopefully for a prediction as well. I think that's what you meant. Yeah. So the loop on the fingerprints, that gives somebody an open-minded character, that gives you that personality where you might focus on something, but then you're able to change your mind. You're not going to be obsessed about just one thing. So you have a little bit more of an open, flexible mind. The tented arch adds a bit of tension to that. So while you have this character of easygoing, nature, but it just puts a little tension on there. The tented arch gives a bit more obsessiveness. So you might be competitive in certain things. It could be as simple as a game on the phone. You might just always want to win. Or it could be that you are sporty, energetic. There's a lot of energy in a tented arch in a obsessive way. So once you start something, you potentially become obsessed about it, and then that becomes your thing. And it's also a lot of energy. Like I said, you could be into sports, into athletics. If not, the energy comes through being able to potentially motivate other people. Most people that I know that have the tented arch are helping people to get motivated. So if someone is feeling down, the tented arch person is the one that might actually say and get them going again, you know, give them motivation to go again. So it's actually a good good indicator. Hello Jeannie, welcome. You made it. So the loop is not referring to whirls. So I don't think I brought along my fingerprint pictures. No, but the whirl is a complete circle. And there will be 2 tri-radius, which is like 2 little triangles either side. So you got on your print, you're going to have 2 little triangles and a circle in the middle. With the loop, there's only 1 tri-radius on one side, and then there's an open loop, like a wave or a teardrop, like an open teardrop kind of shape. So that there's only 1 little triangle. You have to look really closely at your fingerprints and to find that little triangle. If you have 2 triangles, that puts it into the whirl category. If you only have 1 triangle, that can put it into the loop category. An arch has no triangle at all, no tri-radius they call them, tri-radii some people call them. I'm just calling it a triangle to make it easy. So the tented arch has the tri-radius right in the center of the finger. It's not to the side of the finger. So that's how you tell if it's a tented arch or an arch. It's right. The tri-radius triangle is right in the middle of the print itself. So I'm doing I've started a fingerprints book over a year ago, and there's only like 2 pages written because I just procrastinated for so long about it. But I am trying to get myself grounded and settled and continue my fingerprint book, because it is called New Age Palmistry. New Age Palmistry using the fingerprints. So for my study, I'm looking for anyone that has unusual fingerprints, something that's not just a loop like a wave, something that's not just a circle. Unusual prints, if there's different shapes in there. I'm interested in talking to people to help understand if there is a difference in the personality. Like the SIMIAN line gives a different personality, like the other palm lines give different personalities, different fingerprints give different personalities. So I'm looking into how these unusual prints reflect in the personality, and the study would involve me communicating with that person over a period of time. And if I find people like that, they will, once the book is published, they will receive a free copy of the book as my thanks for being involved in the study. Unfortunately, I can't do a monetary payment because I'm not financial. So, yeah. Elliptical. I wish I had a drawing I could bring up. I'll try and draw it. I'll bring up my picture. What's Jeannie say? I have so many vertical lines on my fingertips, I can't see anything. Definitely need to do a print. Yes, vertical lines can be distracting. If you have fine skin, the print is not really visible. It will need an ink print or a magnifying glass. I got one of those just to help with looking at fingerprints. So definitely one of those. Jeannie says, I can see the Jupiter and Saturn finger clearly, but the Apollo finger and the Mercury are full of vertical lines. Well, okay, those two are your communication, your creativity, your social life, your intimate life. So possibly they're not your strongest traits, so it's probably either overuse of those traits or they're not your strongest traits. You'd have to look at it in the context of the whole hand. But say if you look at it in a logical way, you look at the meaning of the ring finger, creativity, your social life, your little finger, your communication, your business, your intimate life, and is that part of your life worn out? If the print's not visible, is it not visible because it's just worn out, overdone, or is it because not done enough in those areas? So there's different ways of looking at it, and I suppose you knowing yourself, you can look at those parts of your life that those two fingers represent and how they can represent in your life. So I'll try and get that picture up to explain this triangle. Some sort of a picture where I can start drawing on. I'll just find one of them. What if I just do this one? Anyone will do. How does the bent pinky finger go to war? The bent pinky does give various meanings, and it can mainly be due to if there was a problem with the father in the family, or a problem in the family when you're growing up, if there was abusive father or some kind of abuse in the family, so that goes to your history of your childhood. And it separated families as well. Separated families can cause underdevelopment of the pinky, or it can cause a curvature of the pinky, because it happens while you're developing your mental, your emotional, when you're young. So that's how that happens. I'll just try and bring up this drawing board just to go back to that triad that I'm trying to explain without having a picture of it. So I'll just do, for example, if you have a whirl. By the way, I'm getting my computer fixed, and this glitching should stop. See how I can't even draw a circle because my computer can't keep up with that. I can't even draw a circle. My computer can't keep up with the mouse. It's really awkward. So there will be lines on the palm that come from the sides around the circle. So as they come in from the sides, there is like a clash. I don't know if I'm going to be able to draw it right. It's not even going to work. Okay. Eek! Okay, look at this one on the right side more. It goes like that. Hope you can see this. Can you see this drawing, or am I just only one looking at it? My drawing is shocking on here. Yes, Pinky Father connection is fascinating and intriguing, and I have almost every case that I've looked at have agreed with me that there is an issue, including my own Pinky, including my son's Pinky, including a gentleman. Many people that I've read the palms of have also agreed. So if you ignore the ignore this triangle on this side, just trying to explain the triangle, it sort of looks like what I've drawn on the right side there. Can you see that? I'm just worried that that picture didn't come up for you. Subrato says vertical lines are more prevalent in the bottom two phalanges of fingers. It's uncommon on fingertips. Yes, on the fingertips it can represent a lot of stress. So stress in the area causes lines. Horizontal lines are more stress. Vertical lines are more just tiredness, overdoing things, possibly not enough exercise, not enough drinking water, and just general looking after yourself health wise. Vertical lines are more overdoing and horizontal underdoing, underperforming. Yeah, so the horizontal more about the stress about it, so the worry about it, and feeling like there's obstacles in that area, like and look at the horizontal as being a block of the flow, so it's an obstacle blocking that flow of energy that should be flowing nicely in that area, if that makes sense. You can see the picture. Oh, good. Last week I had a picture up and I'm talking away and drawing, and then when I went to the replay it wasn't even there. I had to delete the whole bloody thing. It was, yeah, it was a bit of a shite show. You can also concur you have seen it in your readings. Yes, that pinky thing is definitely definitely a thing. So anyway, I hope you sort of understand what I mean with these triradi, triradius triangles. I'll see if I can clear that. So on a fingerprint that's just a loop, so it depends on what side of the sometimes the loop goes one way, sometimes it goes the other way. So the triradi would be on this, on that side of the open side of the loop. No, sorry, on the closed side. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, so the loop, if the loop is facing that way with the fingerprint that way, there will be a triangle, triradi, on one side, and with the full circle there's going to be one of these on both sides of the full circle, and that's called a whirl. So yeah. Mercury finally not retrograding. Oh my god, tech should be back on working terms. Okay, still my rust bucket of a computer is literally a rust bucket. I pulled it open, pulled the whole case off, and we've had moisture in the air. I don't know what's going on. My fan makes a whirring sound. My things that's supposed to help aerate it, everything's rusty in there. Like, I'm due for a new computer, and thankfully I'm getting one, except I'm going away this Easter. If I do a live stream, it's going to be on my laptop, because the new computer takes about 5 days, and it comes when I'm away, so I still won't have it till I get back from my holiday. I look forward to it so much. I'm gonna be hopefully live streaming with ease. I don't know. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Sabroto says, sorry, your interpretation, though insightful, is often in opposition to many traditional readings, thus offering a refreshing modern outlook. Yes, because I don't generally I don't follow the sort of you call it traditional palmistry, so to me that's kind of like just stuff that people made up. So I go with the modern, logical, new age palmistry, where you look at things from a logical perspective. Let's not look at it through symbols and, you know, bad luck signs and good luck signs and all these, you know, mystical signs. I don't believe that's where palmistry should go anymore, because that's why still in some states in the US it's illegal to get paid for a palm reading. It's illegal to practice palmistry because they believe it's, I don't know, scamming. So I'm trying to make palmistry so it's not scamming, it's real. People can tell if you are having health problems. So fairy tales, thank you Ujwal, that's what I was thinking of, fairy tales. I couldn't, the words weren't coming, but yes, fairy tales. I don't tell fairy tales, I try and be logical and realistic. And so looking at your hands, you should be able to see if someone is having a health problem. For instance, someone's hands are very dry, and if there's many warts on there, that can show that for a long time they've been worried and stressed and they're just not functioning well. So your hands should have healthy skin if you are healthy. If there's, you know, too many lines on there, there could be you're mentally overdoing things. So I want to keep palmistry real. I want to keep and being aware of the traditional meanings, and then see how they can also work together. Sometimes they can, but sometimes they can't. Yeah, so the other heart line, could it be a girdle of Venus? Sorry, I might have missed something there. Let's go back. Oh, wondering about having two heart lines. Oh, yep. Okay, one that runs parallel to normal heart line but higher. Okay, so it can be a second heart line if it looks the same, but if it's just a slightly different curvature. Let me clear this. Go clear. So you can see on this picture the normal heart line is here. So a double heart line would run parallel. If it happens to not do that, clear that. If it happens to curve, that's a girdle of Venus. And if it happens to be like a floating, just floating like that, it can be called a float. I call it a floating heart line, but it still is a girdle of Venus as well. It's kind of like a longer, looser girdle of Venus. But you can call it a secondary heart line, you can call it a floating heart line, and you can call it a girdle of Venus. The name itself doesn't matter. The point is that it is giving that, no matter what you want to call it, it gives that extra sensitivity, probably nervousness, hypersensitivity, some cases, neurotic behavior as well, depending on the rest of the hand. So okay, where were we? Hope that makes sense. Lani, welcome Lani. It's not a part of the culture, so it's considered fortune telling. That's right. Yeah, fortune telling. And it's strangely enough, because I have statistics from my website and my YouTube channel on who views my channel, who goes to my website. My statistics show the US is massive. It's like 70% of my people are from the US. So it is definitely popular and gaining more popularity, and people are realizing that it's not just fortune telling and fairy tales. So some states are now following the modern palmistry and accepting it. Australia still class it under fortune telling, sadly, but no one stops you from, they don't make it illegal here. It's not illegal, but if I go to a government website and I type in my line of work, or what I do, there's no such thing as hand analysis or anything that makes it legitimate. You can find fortune telling services, and it's kind of sad because I don't want to call it fortune telling services. I want to call it chirology, or something a little bit more professional. Oh God, oh dear. All right, where were we? Okay. Yes, fortune telling, moving on. Oh, you have the girdle of Venus, Lani, okay. Yes, my interpretations are mostly based on science and logic. That's what I have naturally lent towards. And so I only because I started studying when I was so young, and I was reading everybody else's perspective, and I've taken all these perspectives and kind of made my own view as well. So a lot of it comes from old palm readers, but and I don't mean old as in 3,000 years old. I mean old as in 80 years ago, 50 years ago. So already more than 50 years ago, modern palmistry was a thing. So don't know about the origin. Johnny Fincham is very modern palmist. Yes, I have one of his books. I know he's written another one. But again, he's taken a lot of his information from other modern palm readers. So I like the way Johnny Fincham words his book. It's easy to understand, bit like mine. I try. English is my second language, so I don't excel in English, but I don't excel in my birth language either, because I stopped using my original language long time ago. So I don't excel in either language, but I do speak two languages. None of them perfectly. But I like to keep it simple. Okay. Oversensitivity came to mind, especially in a water hand. Yes, that's the girdle of Venus or the floating heart line. Very sensitive, and if you have control over it, Lani, that's perfect. And you probably have control over it because you're aware of it. So that only usually a problem when you're young and immature and you haven't quite grown up. But once you become an adult, most people understand themselves and they see where their flaws and faults are, and they're able to work with their flaws and faults. So yeah. Jeannie, I disclose what I do as palmistry for self-discovery. That's it. Yeah. Rather than fortune telling. Exactly. Yeah, it's just, I wish that they, like the governments and tax departments and all those people who choose, who you have to tell them what you do. I don't want to tell them I'm a fortune teller, but on their computers they don't have. I could do counseling. I can list myself as someone who counsels, but that's a little bit making me seem like I'm a psychologist, which I'm not. So it's yeah, it's a bit how you're going. In Brisbane Yellow Pages or wherever, there's somewhere where I'm listed as a business, and I had to list myself as a fortune telling services because there was nothing else. I tried listing myself as counseling once, and then I had people contacting me for marriage counseling, and I thought, probably not the right person. So yeah, it's sad, but maybe one day it will move on to something else. Yes, Lani, if you're 34, that's a perfect age to like be mature enough to understand yourself. Ginny says she doesn't do predictive palmistry for new clients, as they have to do the self first. They have to understand that they have the power to change what is there, helps them move with purpose. Exactly. Because you can't, you literally, you can't predict. You can say, this is how things are heading. Based on your past, this is what's been happening in your past, and this is what's happening now. And if you continue in this road, in this fashion, this is where it's heading. It doesn't mean that's where it's going to end. So you can't predict an end result. You can only predict on what road it's heading towards. Is it heading towards success? Is it heading towards confusion? Is it heading towards change? What's happening with the lines on what is potential, good or bad, but there's no absolute, because people make changes in their life. Just because you might be a drug or alcohol addict doesn't mean you're going to be like that your whole life. If you suddenly realize you're a creative person, you might suddenly take on a creative works, so people make changes, and that's how it happens. Life coach, I like life coach. However, they don't Often in most online things, when you're searching for what kind of work you do, life coach isn't listed. Some places do have it listed. I have used life coach before, but I'm just literally referring to, like, what does the Australian government recognise me as? And yeah, most cases life coach is not even in there yet. They're not up with the modern times. Technically it is life coaching. It is through hand analysis. I'm life coaching through hand analysis, or astrology, or whatever you do. Although I think astrologer is actually recognized here. You can put yourself down as an astrologer. That is a thing. So, palm astrologer. I'm a palm astrologer. Lani says, I just asked ChatGPT and it said palmistry, also known as chiromancy, does have a Vedic origins, particularly through a branch called Hasta Samudrika Shastra in ancient Indian texts. Yeah, it's very ancient. It is. But that's like the ancient palmistry is that kind of, fortune telling, fairy tale type. Palmistry in this tradition is not just about fortune telling, it's also tied to spiritual insight, character analysis, and dharma. I can't pronounce, but life path. Just wanted to post for any interest. For me, it gives credibility when ancient texts support it. Yeah, they do. 100% they do, but most of those ancient texts were heading towards just making predictions, fortune telling. So that's why it's taking so long for the general leaders to have any sort of belief in the modern type palmistry. Study of the iris, bunch of tools in my kit, they all confirm each other. Yeah, they all do. So when you say cardology, that's not a term I've heard before. You're talking about tarot cards. I've got a bunch of tools in my kit too. If you call them tools, I use astrology. I always ask people's, dates of birth, look into their charts. I'm not an astrologer, but I certainly know how to bring up a chart of the person. And I haven't done iridology, but I know when someone's pupils are dilated, I know what's going on there. Not tarot. What's cardology? I read tarot, by the way. I read cards. I read playing cards and tarot. What does the little triangle on the solar mount mean? On the sun, there's triangles on. You're talking about the palm print, or as the lines? The lines forming a triangle, or are you talking about the palm print pattern with a triangle? So a triangle on the sun mount, if it's made by the lines, that's highlighting that area. On the palm print, well, the palm has triangles under every finger. You should have one under every one. That divides the fingers, so all of them should have a triangle on there. often they sort of go to the side a little bit. Sometimes the middle finger, it's right in the middle finger. But most of the other fingers on the mounts, it goes off to the side a little bit. So everyone has them. It's just the dividing the palm ridges that go in different directions. And it can, depending on where the triangle is, it can depict whether you're more down to earth or whether you are more intellectual or whether you are more into creativity, things like that. That's the word, the quadrants. Yeah, so, okay. Here we go. Jeannie says, cardology, ancient system based on mathematical quadrations that use the playing cards, but there's no card pulling. Just like astrology, you have 13 cards you play for life and they cycle through 90. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do a lot of numerology. That's all very mathematical too, so I suppose that's definitely unusual, but yeah, it makes sense, I suppose. Cardology. My mum used to read the actual playing cards like reading the tarot, but using the card. That's how I first learnt. So I didn't learn tarot till I was 30 years old. That's like 28 years ago. I'm so old. Need to drop for sleep. Thank you for joining, Lani. Welcome again next time. Stay tuned to my channel and check on the live button to see when my next upcoming live will be. That's great. Thanks for coming. We're missing a couple of regulars that are not here today. Ujwal says at the beginning, Saturn line has a fork, goes under the ball of Venus, and another towards Pluto mount. Oh, okay. So, as long as it's not a part of your lifeline, are you talking about the picture that's up there, or are you talking about your own? But yeah, if it's a part of the lifeline, it's just the lifeline clashing with the Saturn line. But if the Saturn line has an actual split like that and like that, something like that, right at the very start, so that can be, I don't know if you can see that properly. Anyway, I think if that's what you mean, yeah, so that can represent like two potential directions that you might have begun. So it goes to your early years. So from a young age, if you had maybe a creative instinct, or you may have wanted to study being a doctor, for example, and it was a choice. So it's like having a decision, a choice on which road you're going to take. So there's the fate line, if it's in a straight continuous line, shows someone who has taken a path and they're following that same path. So if it's forked at the beginning, that's showing two potential paths, and when they join together, that brings that one single path. So again, you'd have to look at the whole hand to confirm the actual meanings of those forked lines. Jeannie says, yes, started with cartomancy, tried to get cartomancy book, accidentally picked up a cardology book, and it's been uphill. Oh, okay. That's funny, actually. Accidentally got into it. That's funny. You've been in a rabbit hole ever since, and you only need the birthday and month of a person to tell them all about themselves. So that's like numerology. Yeah, that sounds like numerology. Very, very similar. Because numerology, you can just, the day they're born, day and month, or you can do the whole lot, the year as well. But yeah, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. I got an app. It goes with numerology, kind of. It's called biorhythm. So if you have biorhythm, is when your health is up, when your energy is up, when your emotions down, different times of the year, different times of the day, different times of the week, when your energies are up and down. The biorhythm chart bases that on your date of birth and the days of the year. So if it's the 4th of the 5th, 1999, based on your date of birth, you know, how your biorhythm flows. So it's super interesting as well. Yeah. Jeannie says, yes, numerology and astrology together, because all the cards sit at an intersection of two planets. Ujwal says, my luck line is working as lifeline. Yeah, that can happen. That happens a lot. Even in this picture, it's not a very clear picture, but in this picture there is the lifeline that goes onto the fate line, and it actually I'll just clear that. The fate line is part of the lifeline for quite a bit. So there's a fate line there, but it's also, eek, can I do it? The lifeline joins the fate line like that, and then it comes out. So for that middle section, the fate line is the lifeline, and the lifeline is the fate line. So that can happen. Jeannie says, you have the 4 elements with the 4 suits. Oh, yep. So yeah, that makes sense. Obviously, hearts is, you know, emotions, water. Yeah. So I suppose, yeah, that's how the playing cards work, similar with tarot. So yeah, the clubs is the same as the what is it? Clubs, spades, diamonds, hearts. So yeah, 13 cards per suit, 13 moons a year, 52 cards, 52 days each season. Adding the value of all the cards equals 365. There you go. There you go. Definitely worth studying something like that for interest. Next thing you know, all the cardology books are going for sale on the internet. Oh, who we got left? Who we got on board? Lani left us. We've got a couple people have left us. Luna didn't join today. And RM didn't join today. Yeah, 52 weeks per year. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I get it. Anyway, it's nearly 12 o'clock My time's nearly up, but if anyone has any more questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. Questions, last minute questions. 2 minutes, countdown, last minute questions. You're writing a cardiology book. Yay! We shall see like in 15 years if my fire hands ever finish it. Ah, I get it. I get it. I've got a lot of fire. I've got fire combined earth hands, so a bit of both. But I know what you mean. Astrology, numerology, palmistry equals accuracy. Yay! Yay, that's it. That's it. Because if you really want answers, if you combine those things, you can definitely get a more accurate answer. And I suppose with numerology and astrology, it's a bit more stable in the sense that someone has already worked out in the charts and the planets on what happens when these planets line this way and what happens when these planets line that way. So that, in that sense, astrology can work more so with certain questions like career questions, family questions, even the personality questions. So they all have obviously their place, but I do love astrology, but it has to be not so generic. So it has to be the person's personal chart. Has to be the day, the time, the place, the year, you know, like a very specific detail on time of birth as well, because otherwise it is just, most astrology is generic, like the horoscope. You read your horoscope and sometimes it hits the nail on the head and other times it doesn't. Yeah. Jeannie says, we were born with many manuals. Nobody was dropped off all willy-nilly, as palmist Ellen Goldberg says. Dropped off willy-nilly. Yeah. I'm pretty sure as we mature, we grow into ourselves. Most of us are not born and we know exactly who we are. And I'm so at awe at people who do. I've seen young children who say, I'm going to become a doctor, or whatever they say, and they actually do. And it's like they knew from a very young age that's what they wanted to do, and they just went out and got it. And I just think that is so fantastic. So some old souls just know what they're here. They've been here before and they're coming to give it another crack. So yeah. Need time to set the stage. It sets the houses which you let know what parts of your life everything falls into. Yeah. So when I did my chart on where parts of my life landed, and it made so much sense that for me, I wasn't following a set career path. You know, I was not destined to become a doctor or a lawyer, anything of the such, because of my personality, and my charts definitely show it. So house of relationships and partnerships, so that I know that they can also show where there's problems in those areas, in those charts. So very interesting. Love it. The heartline usually describes the condition of the 7th house. Yeah. Interesting for sure. Some people don't have anything. They have blank houses. So if they have a blank house, like nothing in that house, like nothing in the 6th house. Is the 6th house a career? I think it is. So if there's nothing in the 6th house, would that then mean that that person is not focused in that part of their life, or it's nothing spectacular? So their career is nothing spectacular if it's blank. I'm not sure. Anyway, we need a separate astrology Q&A. That's what we need. Anywho, thanks so much. I don't know if you were still replying to that. They don't have planets in the house. You have to find the ruler of that house. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, just that I remember doing my chart, and the houses were there, and then some of my houses were blank. There are no empty houses, isn't there? I thought there was empty houses. What are the things that are empty then? I swear I had empty houses. I don't have the paperwork. I had my little drawings somewhere. I don't have them on me right now. But I'll pull them up. I'll pull them up shortly, and I'll have a look to jolt my memory. Every house is ruled by a sign, which is ruled by a planet that's somewhere in the chart doing something, and that describes what's experienced in that house. Yeah, okay. I'll find the paperwork that I had, and I'll look into it. I do know that I had some blanks, so I don't remember what that was about. Ujwal has my chart. Yes, I think maybe Jeannie. No, someone else got my chart as well. There's 2 people have got my chart from these live streams. I can't remember who the other one was. Looks empty because the ruler planet is out on a stroll doing something else. That sounds like me. My ruler planet has gone wandering off because it gets sidetracked. Too many things. What's the saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. Mm-hmm. Well, you've gone through my chart. Hopefully know more about me. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it was you, Jeannie. Oh, okay, you lost it when your old phone broke. Oh, I thought it was you, but then I had a blank for a moment. I thought, no, I can't remember who did that. There was someone on logical astrology. Now there's a good one. Logical astrology. There was someone on a Facebook page once that did my chart too. And she even took my son's chart. But she never got back to me. I was a bit sad about that. Maybe she found something, didn't want to tell me. Anyhow, that's it. Boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen and everybody. We are signing off. And I will come back hopefully with my new computer system with the powerful performance that it should be able to perform, and if not, I'll be on my laptop, because that means that I'm getting some sort of a transfer to the new computer happening. But either way, I shall see you all next time, don't forget to consider becoming a member of my channel. Jeannie's a member. I have RM's a member. He didn't join today, and Luna. But next time I'll see you then. Adios. Bye bye. Thank you.